Welcome to the Pathfinder Zoom. We are really excited tonight to give you a call that we do every week. We want to give you the skills, the training, and the vision to win in your business. I'm going to start off with a few housekeeping announcements, and then we will get right into the call. We've got a lot of amazing leaders to feature tonight, and we really appreciate their time, and we know you're going to learn a lot from them. Next Monday on the 15th, the Pathfinders Zoom is the Orlando Kickoff, which is the next event that's going to happen April the 21st through the 23rd. Spring into Wellness. I've seen some awesome Facebook material going on around if you want to look for it that way, but you'll get everything you need to know. It'll be filled up with top leaders again, featured on the Zoom. The San Antonio dates are October 20th through the 23rd, and the ticketing for that will also be available in, hello, Ben, in April. So again, the dates for Orlando are 21st through the 23rd, and then we will have the San Antonio dates the 20th of October through the 23rd, and the ticketing will begin for that in April. This Wednesday on the 10th, you might want to really mark this calendar. This has been one of the most requested Zooms that we've done, even in our area as well. Dave is going to feature at 8 o'clock Central Time. Rick will do the Nikan on Guard. This has been a huge momentum shift in our business. It's the most requested topic we have. Everyone can benefit from it. So again, load up this with people that need the new information, that possibly are not familiar with the whole concept, because this breaks it down to everybody needs what we have. So that's going to be this Wednesday, the 10th at 8 Central Standard Time on Dave's Zoom. All right, so tonight's topic, we are going to kick it off. I'm going to kick it off, but the topic is going to be about the new Nikan and the future of Nikan and kind of where it's going and the action plan to get us there. And we have some top leaders here tonight with us to share their vision of what is going on. And from my perspective, I just wanted to share, I have a background in sales and training for some high-end, large retailers. And just in the past, I would just say since October, when we implemented the new retail enhancement, what we've seen is a momentum shift that has gone up for more than 3 months, so a quarter. So basically from where I'm sitting, that is not a fluke, that is a trend, and that is very exciting for me. So this list that you're looking at is November, December, and January, and you can read, this is the key indicators of what's been happening, and this is from all sales. It's a compiled list. So if in your mind you can look at the news and look at retail and look at sales and the way you're going, just in our area alone, we lost a brand new huge Walmart shutting down, another Target shutting down, and let's think about who's opening. Amazon's. They're expanding their warehouses. So if you think about what we have as far as a concept, distribution, the way we're able to build our businesses and what is happening in the world, we've actually aligned ourselves as a business, as a distributor, to be in front and on top of what is happening. And these numbers show that we are already doing it without even any training. So basically, I would think if you saw the Super Bowl commercial last night about new money, this commercial is a perfect analogy of what is happening to us. We're the new money. We're not the Walmart. We're not those stores. The old distributor face-to-face, one-to-one is going away now. And with this enhancement, you have your distributor, your distributor, and then their customers. So basically, you are opening up an entirely new phase, a new way to retail, a new way to make money, a new way to build. That's not just a one and done. This is a built to stay and continues on through your group. So I couldn't be more excited. I know Rick's excited. I know everyone on this call is excited. What's happening in our business, the why of what we just experienced, and the fact that we've increased every month since this enhancement without training, just lets you know this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we're about to experience in this company. Could not be better timing, could not have better products. And with that, I would like to introduce our first guest this evening. I'm very excited to have Kerrie Percey Diamond on this call. She is a domestic engineer, which I love that title. I'm going to have to incorporate that myself. She's a domestic engineer and CEO of a family of 7. She worked in Boston and New York in the corporate world as a top recruiter in the fashion and model industry, and she's been a part of NECAN since she was 21 years old, so that means she's 22 because of the way she looks. She's from Hawaii. She grew up all over the world, so she spent a lot of time in different places for over 25 years. She's also a hairstylist. I think you can tell that also by her picture right here, what's happening in the hair. It looks beautiful. And I can't even believe this, but she is a glamma, which is a cute term for a new grandma. She is a 4-month-old. She is a 4-month-old grandbaby, but we're going to call her the glamma. So I would like to kick it over to you now in your expertise, because you definitely have a lot of wisdom. You bring to the table a lot of the same dynamics and insight that I share, and I think we all share. But I'd like to kick it over now to you, Kerrie Percey Diamond, and take it from here and tell us what your thoughts are.
Thank you, Paige. We need to get you on these calls more often. I love having you on.
Well, thank you. It's good to be up at 9 o'clock.
I know, especially when you're putting little ones to bed. So,
Ben, can you feel me?
Yeah, we let the dads do it tonight, right?
Yes. Some dads probably did both, right, Ben?
Absolutely. Well, I'm grateful to be here, and I'm super excited about what's to come. And, you know, one of the things I want to tell you is that with the new customer program, like Paige was saying, it is so easy now. This week I did a presentation for 50 women, and there wasn't anybody in there that didn't want to become a customer, learn more about NECAN, and purchase the product. It was so easy compared to what I was doing before, where I had to twist people's arms to kind of, you know, do the business, and then I had to take them through this loophole and that loophole and this loophole. It was a little bit frustrating for me. So I love what's happening now. And what we're excited about tonight is we're going to teach you the why, the what, the how, and then an action plan. And that's what I love about NECAN. You know, one of the things Paige said is I've been a part of NECAN since I was 21 years old. I remember building a business in Boston and, you know, going around just talking to people, and man, would my business have grown so much faster if I had what we have right now today with our customer acquisition program. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to invite Molly, the amazing Molly Simpson. If you don't know Molly, then you should know Molly. She's a mother of 5. She's from Colorado, and she gives her team hope. And that's one of the things I love about Molly and how she builds her business. So she really gives them hope. And Molly's going to be covering tonight the what. What do we do to build a successful business? Molly?
Thanks, Kerrie. Boy, it's so fun being on this call with you guys. I'm just having a tough time sitting still. Because when I get so excited, I pace. So it's hard to stay in one place. But I've noticed I have 5 children as well. And I've noticed that if you set up a reward, then you can get them to do anything. If it's something that excites them and interests them, you can call it bribery or whatever you want, but you know, you can get people of any age to do something if the reward's great enough. And so I love that what's shifting, the culture is shifting in NECAN. And our new culture is helping people to not just quality enroll at 500 points, but super quality enroll at 1,500 points. And guess what? We get rewards. We get NECAN reward dollars for doing 1,500 points in retail. And we get a paycheck on top of that. So it's pretty exciting. I love the new culture that's being created. And we get more rewards on top of that. If we're doing 21 clubs, business 21 clubs, we get $250 cash checks on top of our paychecks. And tons of new business. So it's really exciting. Another reward that we have in place now with this new culture is a Paragon Award. The Paragon Award basically rewards you for going gold in a 3-month time period. And it's outstanding. $1,000 cash bonus or big screen TV. I'm going for the cash bonus. I can tell you that much. after Dave's statements of the EIR, you know, the electronic income reducer. when my husband completes the Paragon Award, we'll probably be doing the big screen TV. But when it's up to me, it's going to be the cash bonus. So I love that they give us rewards for doing our business anyway. You just complete 2 21 clubs in a 3 month time period, and you're silver. If you are the A for one of your downline in 2 21 clubs in a 3 month time period, they're silver. Do 6 with 3 of your downline and you're gold. I mean, this whole business is built on 21 clubs, completing 21 clubs. So it's really exciting to me. I love the culture shift we have. I know Rick has talked about how that ooky feeling when you're around friends and family and talking Niken, it's gone. Because now we're just promoting product and promoting health and well-being, and people are asking us to be a part of it. It's exciting and so much fun. I love it. So,
well, no longer do they run away from us, right, Molly? Because they think we're going to sign them up in an MLM.
Right. It's amazing. I love the customer culture. So
Molly, tell everybody what you've been doing recently with the 40% off. And I know that you've been submitting your 21 club to Pat. Tell us a little bit about how you set that up. I think that's really important for people to understand. How did you set that up so that you can win it?
Well, basically, everyone that had any substantial amount of orders, you know, over the 500 points, I just tell them, hey, you've already got a good chunk of the 21 club down. So let's keep the momentum going. Let's get the 21 club form, intent form in and roll with it. So I had a couple people that didn't take me up on it, but the majority of the people who had any substantial amount of orders jumped right on it.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't want an extra $250?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And both A and B get the $250. That's what I love. So there's an incentive for A to want to do it with B. And of course we did it all the time anyways, but now there's an extra incentive for us to do that. So I love that part of Niken, the culture that we're bringing together, and then the activities that help us build our business. Plus it's duplicatable. And this is a great time to teach people what is the correct things to say when you're doing a 21 club. And even if you don't win it, it creates the momentum and the learning atmosphere for everybody involved.
Right, right. I have a wall in my office now. I'm not in my office, but that's got my first award certificate, and I've left empty space all around it. That's going to be the wall of fame in my group. We're just going to plaster that wall with 21 Club wallpaper.
I love it. I love it, Molly. Thanks for being on the call tonight. Molly, you're amazing. You inspire us all. Our next speaker tonight is the beautiful, amazing, talented, wonderful Bernadette, who's from San Francisco. That's currently where she lives. She's a mother of 3. She's a diamond distributor. She also was an executive in the cosmetic and the banking industry. And Bernadette is a diamond and has been on Team Kaizen 2015 and 2016. So Bernadette, welcome to the call.
Thank you, everybody. It's exciting to participate to that call and a lot of fun, I have to say. Well, what I'm going to address myself is, how do we put ourselves in front of people? And we have all the technology and the web, but there's also different things. And I'd like to break it down in 3 categories in a way. There's our warm list, and then how do we find new contacts, and then everything else. So, the warm list, I think, particularly for the people who are brand new, it's important to start with our warm list. Who cares about their health? Who wants to I don't know of anyone who doesn't want to be healthy, stay healthy, or become healthier. So it's really about sharing that message. Are you looking for ways to stay healthy, to stay strong, to have vitality all the years to come? Who doesn't want that, right? So that's what it is. So it's really a question that is universal, and that's really important. So thinking about all the people we know who already may be in need of the product or are in prevention, because I really believe it's important to realize is our products aren't just for people who are hurting. It's all about prevention. That to me was very important. And when we talk prevention, then we have a much, much wider audience, frankly. And then the people, and then as we're talking to those people, you know, it could be asking them, you know, who do you know in your circle of influence who's just like you, has the same concern? You know, one concerned about their stress or sleep or the environmental pollution that we are all, you know, depend on, I mean, that we have problems, or weight concern, anything that's related to vitality, frankly. And it's amazing. People will say, oh, I know so-and-so, or my friend, my family, my colleagues. There's so many people out there. And how do we put ourselves in front of those people? It can be done the face-to-face, which is always a lot of fun, because I think it's important to show that we're having fun. Because when we show we're having fun, people won't bore of it.
Yes,
absolutely.
I don't want to go to a boring meeting or lecture in the evening or during the weekend. I have enough of that through my work. I don't want that. So we want to have fun. So however we call that a party at home, we call that a breakfast, lunch, or, you know, coffee and muffins, however we call it, it doesn't matter. But that's important. But at the same time, who do we know? The people who maybe are, you know, it could be a book club, it could be all those groups that we are part of. It's amazing. When we go through that list, we have more people to talk to than we can think of, that we can manage, frankly. That's, I really believe sometimes we have more people to talk about than we think. About and doing that. And then is, how do we find new contacts? One thing that I absolutely love, I love to live my life and meet people every day. And how do I do that? I love anything that's related to home shows, interior design, for example. So I would go to those expos, you know, in conference centers and so on, and I just enjoy my day, enjoy me being there, but then I always make contact with vendors. And guess what? It's a matter of then, and I guarantee you every time I do that, I leave the expo with 20 business cards and 20 appointments, at least.
So Bernadette, what are you saying to the vendors when you go up to them?
Well, I'll be honest with you. First of all, I don't talk to all of them. I'll make sure that there's some personal contact. You know, if I that's, you know, people, first of all, I will talk to people who have an energy that match mine. Yeah. To me, that's important, you know. People smile, people who are not pushy, and I mean by that, are not what I call the typical salesperson. They're really there to listen, to ask questions. They're there because they're proud of what they do. They want to be of service to you. These are the people I connect with. The others I don't. Right?
So then when you open up the conversation, you go and you guys share.
How long have you, you know, and it takes 30 seconds. 30 seconds. How long have you been doing it? You know, what do you like about what you do? You know, really. And I really strike conversation because I want them to remember me. It's not just one person coming through. And then I said, you know, I really enjoy, I know you're very busy and I'm here also to see the show. I'd love to continue that conversation. How about we get together for a coffee and we talk more?
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Every time I do that, I leave with an appointment. So that's one simple thing. So I live my life doing that, you know, all the time. But there's, you know, so that's one thing that I recommend. But then you may, if you are already, you know, already starting a business, you may decide to have a booth yourself. And it could be at farmers market. You know, there's some people who love, because it's the neighborhood. You know, some people may choose to have booth at some, I would say, business expos. There's so many things we can do, frankly, right? Business mixers that you can attend, Chamber of Commerce. I mean, there's tons of them around us. Or the other thing as well is to be proactive and create groups. You know, you may want to, maybe you're interested in connecting with moms, then create an event for moms with young children who want to take care of their children, juggling so many hats, but at the same time want to have fun and meet other women and all that. There's so much, right? I remember when I had 3 kids, I wanted that, but there wasn't that many opportunities. And I'd love that. Or it may be you have an interest. I have somebody, for example, who is a biker and motorbike. And his circle of influence is all those people who have been biking for so many years. Well, again, it's what are your personal interests? How do you live your life? And go with your strength. But then it could be from a product standpoint. Maybe maybe one of us love more the skincare line, which I think is absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. So then, I say, create something like an event saying, look good, feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
Right? Look good, feel good. And that happens all men and women, not just women.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to look good, feel good. Right?
Right.
It could be, or maybe it's people who focus on don't know how to deal with their stress management. So whatever topic attracts us, I think it's important to go and run with it. Now there's the web.
Absolutely.
We all connected through the web,
Absolutely. I love what you said, Bernadette, about finding what you're excited about. My background is also in hairstyling. So I went in to do a presentation to a school, and I started it out with goal setting. And then I talked about all the things that hairdressers go through. They get sore shoulders, they have a sore back, they're on their feet all day, they have carpal tunnel. And I said to them, I can relate. Yeah, I can relate with you. And so then I talked about the whole other side of what I do. And then I had a form for them to fill out, because obviously I couldn't get to all of them right then. Said, give me your number, your address, tell me where you're hurting. And then at the end I said, and you can become a free customer. Please mark that down if you'd like to do that. And then we can get you some products and get you set up. It was so easy, but could anybody do that? Maybe not. Maybe you find another area that you're passionate about, like going to the fairs or going to a booth. Each person has a talent, and find out what that is, and then use that to market your business and to build your business. Years ago, Bernadette, when I started Nikan, I was 21. I didn't have a warm market. And the warm market that I did have, they were all college students. And none of them were interested in what I was doing. And so I just started calling business owners and managers. And everybody said I was crazy doing that. But you know what? It got me to platinum. So it wasn't that crazy, right?
Absolutely. And I think that's really important, is that we run with our strengths. We know we know who we are, we know what we enjoy to do, and then do it. There's some people who are excellent and are thriving online.
Yeah.
Well, that's phenomenal, because the world is connected through the World Wide Web, literally. So, if that's your forte, go for it. And by the way, I always say to people, if that's not your forte, find somebody who has that strength, because we want to attract everybody, right? We want people who love the face-to-face, people who are really good on online. Everybody there's a place for everybody. And that's the beauty in our business. There's a place for everybody. So it's really important. And using social media to put yourself out there, learning how to do that properly, that's very important, and not to spam on the social media. That's really important. Because there's an etiquette to follow through with that. Very important. But there's that. The other thing that I love to do myself is when I meet other professionals, and I'll give you some example, when I strike a conversation, I'll ask them if they're looking at something else that would make them stand out from their profession. For example, if I meet some realtor, I will say to you, would you be open to hear about how you could stand out, offer another service than the other realtors don't have, that allow you to stand out? And they say, well, what do you mean? Well, what if, as a realtor, you have the pride of finding the dream house for that family. What about afterwards you tell them, now I've added another service, which is allowing you to create a healthy homes to nurture your family.
Oh, I love that.
Complement, show them a way to complement what they do, to add value to what they do. I work with financial planners, and I say, as a financial planner, your customer base is usually 40 plus, right? They have parents, they have children, they have grandparents, and you're really taking care of their wealth. And say, now, how many financial planners are concerned about the physical well-being of the clients? And people look at me and say, well, you mean to say, how about you tell your clients, you're trusting me to take care of your wealth. Now I'm asking you to trust me so I can show you how to take care of your family's well-being. And the interesting thing is, number of financial planners. Bernadette, it's interesting now with some clients who come to me and give me referrals they never gave me before.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what am I saying is, whatever the profession of the person, there's a way we can show them how to add value through what we do. And that's really important. So again, there's more that we can. One last thing I'd like to address is, as customer as well, is, maybe have at least, I would say, twice a year. Myself, I actually go for more, but I say at least twice a year, do like a customer campaign or customer appreciation campaign, however you want to call that. And it could be, after the holiday or for the holiday or the summer. I was talking about look good, feel good. That could be an all year round. But frankly, it could be summer fit. Be fit for the summer, or be fit for the holiday, or something like this. Or after the holiday is back in shape.
Yes.
Right? Or before the holiday, it's the gift of health. So find the 2-3 things that you could run all year, that you could run every year. And that becomes part of your routine. And then it's not just you doing it, it's you do that with the rest of your team. Yeah. And then the last thing I would say, and then is, we're talking about the customer, but I've always said myself that in Econ we build 2 networks. We build a network of customers and we build a team network. Mm-hmm. So those customers, it's important that we find the advocates. Who are the advocates? Who would want to become a wellness champion, a total health champions, and promote that? And then let's show them how they can create their wellness home by promoting it. They can just get their products paid for, make an extra income. Again, it's about being creative and very spontaneous, and just speaking the truth and sharing from the heart, and the rest will be just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely. And Bernadette, I loved how you said help others, like realtors, stand out. I mean, you think about how many realtors are out there. If you could give something for them to actually stand out of the crowd that they could offer their clients, then they would be interested in what it is that we're doing. So that was a great point. Here's the other thing I want to say is, in the very beginning when you're starting Econ, you may not know everything, and that's okay. That's why we do these calls. That's why we do the recordings for you. That's why Dave has the morning calls. We're all here to support you. We're all here to learn together. You can pretty much Google anything these days to become an expert, right? You can Google anything to become an expert. Well, we're going to move on. Thank you, Bernadette. You did awesome. We're going to move on to the amazing, wonderful Ben Woodward tonight. And Ben, you're on mute. I don't know if you know that or not. You're still on mute. There you go. There's Ben. Did you guys know that Ben learned about MLM companies when he was 18, and by the time he was 22, he signed up for his very first company? His background has been in network marketing for many years. He's traveled all over the world, 20 different countries, educating people about the amazing network marketing company. He has 6 children, and we have 1 on the way. Do we know if it's a boy or a girl yet, Ben?
It's another boy.
Oh, another boy. Congratulations. And I have to tell you, I love the fact that you're in our world now, and I can hear your children in the background sometimes.
It's
so
fun.
Behind the scenes, I do a little giggle, thinking, "Yay! Now Ben knows what it's like for the rest of us moms too." So Ben, tonight, let's hear about how to take action.
Well, thank you so much. I love what I've heard on the call tonight. Some fantastic instruction showing how the world is changing. First of all, if we just do a quick recap, the world is changing significantly. We see a lot of the stores that we're familiar with closing down as a result of online retail activity leading the way in how we consume and how we shop. That's a significant point that is really worthwhile for all of us to consider, because it shows us that if we don't adapt, if we don't shift and get customer focused this way and provide these types of benefits that consumers are looking for, then we'd end up in the same position as Walmart or Target, where they're looking at closing down stores because they're just not getting the traction and the attention that they need. It works, but they need the audience. Great business isn't just about a great product, it's about getting people's attention. And so that's really important that we understand that. What are the best ways for us to get people's attention? And what we've done in the past worked well in the past. but in order to move into the future, we've got to get in line with that. So I think Paige really nailed it right out the gate there in emphasizing how the world is changing and we're moving in synchronicity with the rest of the world there.
Yeah.
Molly also emphasized the way that we get started here is by focusing on customers, going out there, setting a goal to do at least 1,500 points of retail sales a month. That's a great target. We set that as a target because it gives us a milestone to reach where we can achieve maximum benefits for our efforts. We've got free weekend products that we get for that. If we teach others to do the same, because of course, it's not just about retail, it's about the power of word of mouth. That's one of the great things that we see with the online shopping behavior right now.
Yeah.
It's not just that online is powerful. It's that word of mouth recommendation is the greatest influencer in decision making for consumers over anything else. And we've got the best of both here that we're bringing together. The word of mouth recommendation through our network marketing model and the great products that we offer online with great prices that really give people a benefit to get the best out of our business. So we've got some benefits there that can help people get started. The Business 21 Club, again, Molly emphasized that. Paragon Award, really strong places here to help us get started. And of course, I love what Bernadette's been teaching, giving some very specific examples of customer campaigns, reaching out to target audiences and getting very specific on the way that we can connect with others in order to have a meaningful experience. And I think that, Bernadette, was just fantastic instruction that you gave there and helping us know some of the details of how to get going. The critical point as we pull all of this together is really two things that I wanted to emphasize tonight. One is that none of this will have any effect in our business if we don't open our mouths. Yeah. The critical point for each of us is to open our mouths, to let the word out. And but what I've found in many instances is there is a space between my desire to open my mouth and then the action of doing it. And that space, that distance, is sometimes called fear. Wouldn't you agree? I was on a follow-up call today as I've been throwing myself into my new role as a distributor. I was on a follow-up call today with a prospect of mine who had made the commitment last week to join the business. And as I was following up with him this morning, he said to me, and I'm sure you'll have all heard this 1,000 times over, so this isn't new, but I want to share with you what he said, and I want to share with you my response. He said, you know, Ben, he says, I've been giving it some thought since we last spoke. He says, and I'm just wondering, you know, can I really do this? Yeah, it sounds good. And obviously, I believe that you're going to do well, Ben, but could I do this? I mean, how well? He's a contact of mine from the UK. That's where a lot of my contacts are right now. And he's going, you know, how well is the business working here in the UK? Can I really do it? Do I have the time? Do I have the ability? Am I going to really get this done? Has anyone heard that before?
Yeah.
Yeah. And but this is what he was saying to me. And he says, well, what do you think? What are your thoughts? And I said, you know, Adam, I said, I think you're right. Maybe you're just not good enough for this.
No.
Takeaway.
Maybe you're not the kind of person that would succeed. Yeah, maybe you're not cut out for success. Maybe doing this would be too much for you, and maybe you just couldn't handle it. What are your thoughts? Or what do you think he did in response to that? He's like, I beg your pardon. Of course I can do this. Of course I can do this. He said, I said, well, Adam, what I'm doing here is I'm articulating to you exactly what you're telling yourself. Mm-hmm. How does it sound when I tell you you're not cut out for this, that you probably won't succeed, that you're probably not good enough, that maybe you just don't have the stickability? Yeah, maybe you probably will try and then quit and give up. Maybe you shouldn't even bother starting. When I said that, he wanted to take offense. He knew what I was doing, of course, because I said it with a smile on my face. Yeah, so he knew what I was doing, but he also saw the obviousness of his own message being so wrong. So what I would suggest to each of us tonight is we should be making commitments tonight as a result of what we've heard. We should be making a commitment to open our mouths and to share our message with others, to take some of these critical points that have been shared so eloquently this evening and to make a decision right now to do something, if not tonight, first thing in the morning tomorrow, and act with immediacy. But again, there is always a hesitation. There is always a moment between the commitment and then the action. And often that creates hesitancy, or often it is filled with self-doubt. My challenge to each of you is to verbalize the self-doubt that you tell yourself and have a listen as to what it sounds like. Can you imagine what it would be like if your sponsor or your mentor spoke to you the way that you often speak to yourself?
Oh.
My goodness me, you'd think they were the worst mentor in the world. You'd want to change them. You'd want to get someone else in to do the job because they're not very motivating. But the biggest challenge for many of us is we do use that language that my prospect used with me earlier this morning. So I would invite you to verbalize that thought when it comes into your mind or into your heart. Say it out loud. Imagine it's someone else telling you and how you'd want to respond, and then respond accordingly, because the reality is we can all do it. And that was, fortunately for me, that was his response. Well, of course I can do this. I see what you're saying. You're right. I'm going to do this. Watch this spaceman. I'm going to get this paperwork into you tomorrow. And away he went, ready to fill in his paperwork and get going. So I would invite all of us to make some specific commitments. I'm inviting everyone that I speak to as they get started or as they get engaged or as they continue forwards in their business to make a personal commitment of 1,500 points of retail sales. When we make what I call a no matter what decision, I will do this no matter what, which means if I'm at 1,200 points and it's the 29th of the month, that no matter what, I'm going to go all out to make sure that I finish it off and get 1,500 by the end of the month. We've got to make those types of no matter what decisions in order to build our business and lead by example. So I would encourage you to make a no matter what decision, that when you get hesitancy or fear or self-doubt creeping in, before you take action or while you take action or after you've taken action, whatever point that appears, verbalize it. Say it out loud to yourself and realize the ridiculousness of how we sound in our own self-talk. Because like I said, no one else, we would never say that to someone else. If I had a prospect telling me that they lacked confidence, I wouldn't reinforce it. I'd do the opposite. I'd give them encouragement. So give yourself the encouragement and get that bad language out of our heads. I would suggest, again, that 1,500 points, but also spreading that message. One of the great things that we can do tonight is to reach out to our team members. If you're not a prospect, if you're a member of NECAN already, the first thing that you can do is reach out to someone else in your group and share with them what you've learned tonight. Educational psychologists have proven that we learn at a faster rate when we learn with the intent of teaching others. That's one of the great things about our business model, is that it accelerates our own learning and our own personal development because we are focused on helping to develop others. To make it a critical part of your task, not just in making a personal commitment for action to open your mouth, but also to share it with someone else, because this will deeply entrench the learning that you've taken away from tonight. So three commitments, sorry. One, a personal commitment of 1,500 points of retail sales, no matter what, by the end of the month, each and every month. To eliminate or to challenge the self-talk that is not productive to our success. Say it out loud and imagine that you're mentoring yourself. How would that sound as a mentor? If it doesn't sound great, get rid of it. That's the critical point. And then the third one is share something that you've learned tonight on this call, be it about a commitment to do a 21 club, maximize the NECAN reward points, find a new way to attract a customer, or whatever it might be from what we've discussed. But share something from the call tonight with someone in your team to deeply entrench the learning and to accelerate your journey for personal development. These are my challenges to you tonight, and critically, share this with your mentor so that they can support you in your goals. I love what we are doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I love so much being able to be partnered with each of you. It's a wonderful team that we've got here in NECAN. I've never felt such a sense of unity, of common purpose, of mutual respect and trust, and a willingness to allow everyone to have a voice. This is incredible. So many people join businesses like ours for these very reasons. And yet here we have it, not just in talk, not just on paper, but in practice. And this is something that is really beautiful. And I believe as a consequence of this, as we start to pull together this focus of supporting each other, working together, truly collaborating in a spirit of trust and mutual respect, we're going to have incredible success as we move forwards. So thank you very much for being on the call. Please share it. It is being recorded. So share it with your team members that haven't had the chance to listen. Get the word out. Of course, always remember to be on the next call. These calls are on every Monday night. Be a part of them. Don't miss out. The Murphys do a fantastic job of hosting these calls every week. Again, to reiterate what Dave Johnson said, please be a part of the event in Orlando coming up in April. It's an event not to be missed. Bring your guests, bring your prospects, bring your teammates, get involved, because we're rolling out a new legacy here that everyone wants to be a part of. So thank you very much, and I'll pass the time back to, I'm not sure, Kerrie or Paige.
We'll just say thank you, everybody, for being on the call. We appreciate you. We love you, and we're excited to learn more. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
On just one final note, I would like to just remind everyone that next Monday night will be all the details about the Orlando call. And again, thank you all, Kerrie, Bernadette, Molly, and Ben. Thank you all for sharing your time on the call. We love what is happening in the company as well after more than a decade. There's never been a better time. And